The workaholic lie we've been sold. If you're anything like most of us, you've bought into the myth that more work equals more success. Somewhere in the last few decades, we collectively agreed that burning the candle at both ends, working until our eyes glaze over, and answering emails at 11 p.m. was not just normal, but admirable. But Rest by Alex Soojung-Kim Pang gently yet firmly dismantles this idea, telling us that the key to doing great work isn't working longer hours. It's working smarter and resting better. Pang's thesis is beautifully simple. Rest is not a luxury or a reward after a marathon of work. It's the fuel that powers meaningful achievement. The more intentionally we rest, the more productive, creative, and focused we become. The good news? Rest doesn't mean quitting or chilling on a beach somewhere far away, although that helps. It's about incorporating strategic breaks, naps, walks, and unplugged moments into your daily life, just like the great thinkers and creators throughout history did. Chapter 1: The Myth of the Workaholic Genius. It turns out the image of the all-night, caffeine-fueled workaholic genius is largely a Hollywood myth. Consider Charles Darwin, who changed the way we see the world by spending just a few focused hours each day on his research. The rest of his time? Gentle walks in the English countryside, afternoon naps, and observing his garden. This wasn't laziness. It was a deliberate rhythm that allowed his brain to incubate ideas. Einstein was similar. The man who unlocked the mysteries of the universe worked in bursts and spent lots of time playing his violin or daydreaming. The pattern of intense focus followed by generous rest is consistent among great minds. The takeaway is counterintuitive but liberating. Your brain can only sustain deep cognitive effort for a few hours daily. Beyond that, fatigue sets in and effort becomes less effective. Chapter 2: Rest in the Brain: Why Your Mind Needs Downtime. Science backs up what these historical anecdotes suggest. Modern neuroscience reveals that the brain isn't designed to be on all the time. When we're resting, not just physically but mentally, the default mode network, DMN, in our brains activates. This is the network responsible for daydreaming, subconscious problem solving, and creative insight. Pang points out that many of our best ideas come not during grinding work sessions, but during moments of rest. In the shower, on a walk, or during a quiet moment staring out a window. The DMN helps connect the dots between pieces of information your focused brain couldn't link during work. It's the mental equivalent of marinating a delicious stew. The longer and gentler the process, the richer the result. Chapter 3: Deliberate Rest. Not all breaks are created equal. Let's clear something up. Not all rest is restful. Scrolling endlessly on social media or binge-watching shows might feel like a break, but it doesn't give your brain the quality rest it needs to reboot creatively and cognitively. Pang introduces deliberate rest, which is intentional, structured, and chosen to restore your mental resources. Deliberate rest includes activities that engage different parts of your brain or body without the stress of work. Think long walks in nature, playing a musical instrument, reading fiction, journaling, or light exercise like yoga. The beauty of deliberate rest is that it refreshes your mind without draining it further. It's like cross-training your brain muscles instead of overloading them. The goal is to switch gears mentally so you're not stuck in the hamster wheel of the same cognitive strain. Chapter 4: The Daily Work-Rest Rhythm. Work smart, rest smarter. If rest is so important, how do we fit it into busy days? Pang shares insights from historical figures and modern productivity science about the ideal daily structure for balancing deep work and rest. Typically, great minds worked in intense, focused blocks of 2 to 4 hours, usually in the morning when their energy and creativity peaked. After this burst, they would take significant breaks, walking, napping, or leisure reading. The afternoons were reserved for lighter work like answering letters, administrative tasks, or socializing. Evenings were sacrosanct for unplugging, spending time with family, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing. The key is recognizing your brain's natural energy cycles and protecting your peak focus hours from distraction. Trying to power through tiredness or squeezing extra hours often backfires by producing lower quality work. Instead, resting strategically is like sharpening your axe before chopping wood. You work less but achieve more. Chapter 5: Walking, the Unexpected Genius Booster. If there's a single rest hack Pang champions above all, it's walking. Not just any walking, but unhurried, nature-filled strolls that engage your senses and free your mind. Darwin walked for hours daily. Steve Jobs famously held meetings while walking, and many writers and artists have sworn by the creativity unlocked by their daily perambulations. Walking stimulates the brain's bilateral activity, the left-right rhythm that fosters creativity and problem-solving. Unlike treadmills or hurried power walks, the kind of walking Pang describes is unplugged and meditative. It lets the brain wander freely, helps process emotions, and triggers those aha moments we all crave. So next time you hit a mental wall, get up and take a stroll. Your brain will thank you. Chapter 6. Napping, the power of a well-timed snooze. Sleep is the ultimate form of rest, but it's often underrated as a performance tool during the day. Pang explores the power of the short nap, which is like a quick reboot for your brain. A 20 to 30-minute nap improves memory, sharpens attention, and boosts creativity. It's a secret weapon used by NASA pilots, writers, and top executives. Unlike caffeine, which can cause jitters, a nap refreshes without side effects. Pang even recommends a nappuccino. Drinking coffee right before a short nap, so the caffeine kicks in as you wake up, giving you an extra burst of energy. Napping isn't laziness or weakness, it's smart science-backed productivity. Chapter 7. Real vacations, unplugging to recharge. Vacations are supposed to be the ultimate rest, but for many, they become just another chance to check emails or catch up on work from afar. Pang argues that true rest requires complete psychological detachment from work. The brain needs to believe it's on a real break to activate deep restoration. That means no screens, no work calls, no just checking in emails. The benefits of a real vacation compound when you let go fully. Research shows that people who fully unplug on vacation come back more creative, energized, and productive, while those who stay half-connected often feel worse off. Pang advises planning vacations deliberately as rest periods, not just extended work trips. Chapter 8. Rest as a creative strategy. One of the most compelling ideas in rest is that rest isn't just about avoiding burnout. It's a strategic tool to boost creativity and innovation. Great creators don't just work hard, they rest hard too. They understand that stepping away from a problem can help the subconscious mind work behind the scenes. Pang highlights examples from writers, artists, and scientists who took breaks, engaged in leisure activities, or changed environments to refresh their perspective. Rest expands your mental bandwidth, allowing new ideas to surface and prevents the mental stuckness that comes from overwork. Chapter 9. Rest in the digital age, guarding against distraction. Modern technology makes rest harder than ever. Smartphones, social media, and endless notifications create a constant partial attention state, exhausting the brain even during supposed downtime. Pang warns that rest in the digital age requires intentional boundaries. Scheduled phone-free times, apps to limit screen use, and physical spaces free of digital distractions. He also advocates for digital Sabbaths, periods where we disconnect completely to recharge. Learning to rest well today means mastering how to disconnect in a world designed to keep you plugged in 24/7. Final thoughts. Rest is revolutionary. Rest is not a book about slowing down for the sake of it. It's a book about reclaiming the rhythm of being human. In a culture obsessed with hustle, urgency, and performance, rest becomes a radical act. But it's not an act of rebellion, it's one of wisdom. Soojung-Kim Pang isn't asking us to do less because we're weak. He's inviting us to do less because it makes us strong. Rest isn't a sign of laziness. It's a sign of strategy. It's the space where your best ideas bloom. It's the pause that gives power to your push. It's the silence that fuels the next great breakthrough. So, the next time you find yourself racing toward burnout, remember, productivity doesn't come from squeezing every drop of energy out of yourself. It comes from giving your mind the space to breathe, your body the time to recharge, and your soul the dignity of stillness. In a world that never stops moving, maybe the smartest thing you can do is stop and rest.